for some reason, they have still not given any news when it comes to Depths of this realm. That is one of the best content in the game. I had to double check this live stream just to see if I missed it or not. But yeah, there's actually no news. I went to their website and yep, there are nothing that is related to the Depths of this realm. We got a couple of endgame contents. Yes, there's still new endgame contents. We will get into that. And they kind of replaced the Depths of this realm again, yet again, for another co-op event. Which, mind you, I am okay with the co-op event. I do think that is actually quite fun. I just think that there is no need to replace another endgame for this endgame, you know? When you could actually just have both. And yes, I do know that they are cooking up something new for the Death of this realm. I am expecting something big, at least for a possibility for you to be able to do co-op in the Death of this realm. I mean, roguelike co-op just sounds amazing. I am really having a high expectation for the next patch. So let's talk about it. Hey, to put it bluntly, I like what we have here in Wuthering Waves 2.2. I know the title is kind of a clickbait, but to be to be frank, I like it. I like everything about it. I do have a couple complaints to be made here, which we will be getting into. And I do think that the complaints that I'll be making is actually the majority of what people actually want. So let's start off the video by getting the complaint out of the way first. And after that, we'll be glazing Kuro Games for their hard work to oblivion. Yeah? Sounds good? So as I stated before, there's still no Deaths of Lyceram. I think Deaths of Lyceram is one of the best endgame content in one of the best experience I've ever had in the gacha space. No comparison to Genshin Impact Spiral based Imaginary Theater at all. It's actually just too good to be true. It's a roguelike game, and I wish they had made improvement a lot earlier just by giving us scope or something. As a matter of fact, I do think the co-op in 2.2 is still pretty, well, trash. I think what we should do to the co-op system is endgame. Allowing co-op in endgame contests would just fix the whole issue with not being able to play with friends or just strangers in general for you to actually just get to know. I mean, can you imagine? Yes, you still get to use your single version of Tower of Adversity if you want to have a difficult time, but for some people that can't beat the Tower of Adversity or the Hologram, for example, match into co-op, and then you have this one person that has like a S6 Jinxie or Carlotta and just go through the Tower of Adversity or a Hologram together and let the person beat it for you. And you get all the rewards still. It's not even a lot of rewards. I think it will fix the game. I think it will remove a lot of FOMO for the early players. Secondly, I want to talk about the flying, the flying gadget. I think flying is one of the best things that ever happened in Wuthering Waves. Truly, it's mind blowing. Like having this flying mechanic in Rina Sita, it just feels good. To the point it made you feel like I will never want to go back to the old region. And that's not good. I think the old region is also beautiful, and having a flying mechanic there will be breathtaking. I want to see the old region in a bird's eye view. It will be great. And I think they should add that to the new region. If I'm being honest, they should have done this in the first patch. Like, yeah, you have to finish the story quest and everything first. That will make sense. And then you will 100% a couple of areas. And once you do that, they reward you by, yeah, you can use the flying gadget anywhere you want now. Thirdly, I want to talk about the Whimpering Waste. Yes, I've heard the news where they said that they would fix the difficulty in the game. I think that mode just needs an overhaul. It really does. It's such a waste of an endgame content. It needs to be redone. Remove that, you can cook something up in the Whimpering Waste first and bring back the Depths of this realm. That would balance out your reward for the players, right? That's what you want. I assume that's what Kuro Games want. They want to balance out the rewards. That's why there's always like, it's either the Depths of this realm or the co-op event. They always tend to replace some new events. So please fix the Whimpering Waste first. Fix the AI of the enemies because that wolves are annoying. All these small enemies are so badly programmed. They need a lot of fixing. Here's some more Cantarella. But I'm just so happy that the community are so vocal when it comes to this. So I'm just gonna let that simmer down and rely on that to make a change before Kuro starts becoming more predatory or worse, Genshin. But to contradict what people are saying about Cantarella's swimming exploration power crab, as long as we can fly, and that Kuro fits this by allowing players to fly in all regions, all is good. I truly believe that exploration shouldn't be power crept by any characters and instead should be given as a free gadget. Much like flying, all characters are able to fly because of that. Every players are able to fly. It's great. It feels good and it's fun to talk about. So lastly, I want to talk about the new Sonata effect. I talk about this in my videos discussing what the Sonata effect is going to be like in the future of Rina Sita. And yeah, I'm kind of right. It's completely garbage. And this might ruin a lot of people's expectations on the new Sonata effect in Rina Sita. And for those of you who are expecting Jian to be able to do the Aero Erosion, for Jian Xin to be able to do Aero Erosion, or Alto to be a better DPS, yeah, that's just not gonna happen. For example, if you have the new Aero Rover in the team with Jian, this will be good. But if you don't, because you want to have another buffer instead, like Verena, yes, I know Aero Rover will be a healer as well, but just humor me, okay? You use Verena and Mortefi and Jian, the same team, the classic Aero team. And you don't have the Aero Erosion effect. Meanwhile, the new Rinasita characters do. So you're missing a lot of damage here. Again, Aero Erosion will give all the Aero Resonators 15% more damage, and for the Resonator triggering this effect by an additional 15%. So the character that does the Aero Erosion effect will be getting 30% damage. And as of now, we'll only know that Aero Rover will be able to do this. But the old characters, but the old Resonators won't be able to do this. They're not gonna have this new effect. They're not gonna change any of those kits unless you decide to ask, unless the players decide to complain about this. And I do think this is very important to mention about. If you don't already know, Crew Games, as of now, they are very much basically the only dev that are actually listening to the players. So I do wish that the players are actually complaining and do the survey. Surveys are very important, and I know a lot of you do have this Genshin Impact effect where they do the survey and they just basically ignore you. When it comes to Wuthering Waves, we don't know that yet. A lot of the times they do give out a lot of improvement into the game. So I encourage you to just do the survey. And that is all for the main complaints in Wuthering Waves 2.2. We will now go through some of the parts in the live stream and see what they mention. And let's start off with the Cantarella character. Oh my god, she just looked pretty. Her animation is so good. Yes, I will be, again, I'll be pulling for her. But if I don't get her, that is fine. My priority is Zani, and it will always be Zani. She needs to be in my account. She just looks so good, and I prioritize her more than Cantarella. I know Cantarella is gonna be a good character in my account. It will be a support, a healer, and also a buffer for my dungeon. When Cantarella unleashes, it activates long-lasting. Okay, this is the. They talk so fast. They mention it right away. I swear to God, I haven't finished reading it. She does coordinated attacks, which is good. You'll be seeing her doing a lot of damage after you switch out characters, and then afterwards you do her outro skill, and she provides havoc damage bonus and resonance skill damage bonus. And this is the complaint that we made. Yes, she will be swimming a lot faster, more than most characters. It's crazy. And then she can just automatically jump high enough for you to actually be able to fly. They mention it right here. I think not high enough for flight. And then the guy said correct. That's as to how it works. Yeah, it's gonna be a very good character. And as always, if I do get the character, I will be pulling for their weapons as well. I always try to encourage you guys this. If you got the characters and you have enough S-Strides to get the weapon, why not? It is guaranteed. And if you don't have enough S-Strides, it's fine. Leave it for next patch for the new characters that you want to pull for. You merely building pity. I love the little jellyfish here around her. The weapon is like moving around like that. It looks so cute. And then we got the new Aero Rover introduction. The guy made a cringy thing just now. Aero Rover, Rover Aero. Yeah, I do know about the kits already. And the Rover basically is gonna be a support, but I'm sure you can have a build for you to play him as a DPS either way, right? I mean, of course, there's always a way to build these characters as a DPS. Much like Spectre Rover right now is one of the best DPS in the game as well. I use Spectre Rover to beat the Tower of Adversity by just soloing it, and the Spectre Rover is actually pretty damn good. So I'm expecting a lot for Aero Rover to basically do as much damage and healing as well. That will be great because Spectre Rover also heals. So they just shouldn't give us a half-ass character and just give us the same amount of damage as Spectre Rover, or better yet, maybe more. And I'm sure you've noticed this, that the Rover right now is carrying his own blade. That is crazy. I am so glad they did this. That is just an insane thing for the dev to do. They didn't have to do this, but now we actually have an open slot for any characters to use this, the 5-star standard weapon. It's just so good that they actually do this and showing so much love for the main character. That is something that is missing in Genshin Impact. Yeah, I know. It all goes back to Genshin Impact as always, and it's free. Yes, I am hoping for us to be able to, increase the rank for our weapon. That would be great. That would be just amazing and free as well. Maybe through some quests maybe through some crafting. I don't really care how, but if we can get to rank 5, I mean R5 for our weapon, our 5-star weapon, free 5-star weapon, that will be insane. I love what they're doing here. This is the interactive gameplay feature, the new puzzles that we have. It is gonna be very dizzy, isn't it? I bet I bet I'm gonna be annoyed. I'm gonna be so annoyed with the puzzles in this new area for sure. Let's skip through this. We have a demo right here. They're gonna be showing us. Though I'm gonna be skipping here quite a bit. The echoes in this game, man, I can't believe that they kept this up. You know, this echo thing. All every single patch, we get new echoes, all new different designs, different animations. They all look great. I don't know how much money they put into this. I mean, the effort they go into the echoes. Honestly, I do recommend for them to just do a whole Pokemon, you know, whole Pokemon fight PvP, and just have to use echoes. That'd be great. And you have to like level up this echo. That would just be amazing for PvP for those who want to enjoy these things. And the rewards shouldn't be too much. They can just have like a couple of Echo ESP, you know, because you use Echo to find the, you know, it's pretty good. Okay, now we have the banners. We're gonna have Dungeon. I always forgot her name, Chixia and Yuan Wu. So I only have C5 dungeon, S5 dungeon, and I'm hoping to actually get her S6 this time around. We'll try to get her for sure. And if we don't, I'm just gonna, you know, it's gonna be okay. I do not think she's a must pull. I do know a bit of her kits. I believe she's a healer. She does shielding. I don't know if she does shielding or not. But she also does damage and coordinated attacks. So that's just great for Carlotta, Jinxie, Dungeon. It's amazing. It's gonna be a lot of support for the characters. We will be having Shorekeeper again. You need to have Shorekeeper if you don't have her. She's a good unit. She's one of the best character, one of the best support in the game. She heals easily. She buffs your character's damage, and she gives crit rate, 12.5 crit rate with the right build, with the maximum build. She will be one of the most useful characters in your account. I will encourage everyone to get Shorekeeper if you don't have her, but I would understand as well if you don't like her design. That's fine. You don't need her, and pull for the characters that you actually like. At the end of the day, I do just think that it's only better for you to play the characters that you can actually have fun with. And as always, you don't need Shorekeeper's weapon. It is only good for her. And holy crap, I just noticed that there is no variation in the weapon banner. Variation, one of the best 4-star support weapons. It can be used for Verena, Baizi, and Shorekeeper. I just can't believe that it would have been a good banner. We'll be getting new companion story, Cantarella story. So this will let us to know about more of the Physalia stuff and Montellis, who knows. I like the whole thing going on between those two. I love it. This boss fight just looks like, I mean, it just looks like the Thundering Memphis. Even the way it moves, even the way it stands in front of you, like menacingly. Holy, holy moly. Yeah, it looks really cool. This boss looks really cool. Yeah, it is Thundering Memphis. It is. Even the attacks, right? It's very similar, just a bit different elements. I'm just gonna skip through this part because I know it's like a mini events, a lot of mini events here and there, like the spinning wheel thing. I do like it. It's very easy just to get rewards, but it's really just an event for you to just play through the game. You know, you will get bored after you finish your main end game content. It looks really fun. Yeah, I like the whole the parkour events nowadays. At the start of the game, it was actually really bad the way they do the parkour events, but now they have really improved. Here's the co-op event that I mentioned that they kind of replaced with the Depths of Lucy Realm. Yeah, you could just have both, you know. I get that Kuro Games wanted to balance the rewards out. I get what they are going for here, but they really shouldn't. Giving players more rewards are only going to be better for the game. It's going to lead players to play the game. I do recommend them to make a change to that. Just if you want to have the co-op one, I do think the co-op one is actually very fun. Playing with your friends like this, yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed it very much, seeing how people play with their S6 Carlotta. Now I know this will come sooner or later. My God, even the Dragon of Dirge fighting in the Tower of Adversity, like man, It is so tanky, it's ridiculous. And not only that, they put these two other mobs to stall you. It is so annoying. Just imagine fighting this dragon, and you know full well they will create this new animation for the monsters, you know? Let's just watch the gameplay. Cool games just tend to do this stuff, you know? They just add new animation for the enemies. And sometimes this animation just came out of nowhere. You have no idea where it come from. It's crazy, but I love it. The new combat endgame content. I don't know if it's gonna be permanent. It says events, so probably not. To adjust the difficulty of the by equipping support modules, you can make battle smoother and easier. So you can change difficulty by adding all this stuff to the enemies, right? Before we move on, okay, that's all they want to say about that event. Wow, I feel like they should specify this a lot more. I'm not getting anything. They just show us this new combat event, and you know what? We're not gonna show the gameplay one bit. Increase the number of casket sonar and waypoints allowed. I do find this useful for the new players. Actually, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not gonna be useful for someone like me and a lot of other veteran players that play this game in 100% all the map. To make things easier, we're introducing a supply pack quick access feature. Add a quick access. Okay, so this one is actually quite nice as well. It just makes things easier for you, I guess. Not really what I've ever asked for. I didn't have any issue with it, but I guess if you ran out of your materials, they have this box thing with a lot of their other supplies. They just kind of randomly take it from you. That's decent. This is gonna be so good. People have different opinions when it comes to coloring, and being able to change the contrast or the saturation and everything, it will be so good. Like this, okay, they actually made this less saturated. It actually looks like the old version of Wuthering Waves, like in the beta. This is what they look like before this. It's so, and this is gonna be like overly saturated. Hey, look, we're playing Genshin now. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna play around and mess around with it and choose the right color for me. Yeah, it looks good. Not this one. This looks garbage. It definitely looks a lot like Genshin, but this is overly saturated. It hurts my eyes. Literally a flashbang to me just now. There's a lot of new players that are gonna be joining us. It's definitely good for the business. I do believe this is a good choice for them to make. And you know the best part about this, about all of this, is that this guy will come and say 2.2 will be shorter than usual. The good news is that means version 2.3 will arrive sooner. This changes a lot of things. That makes all the lack of contents in this current patch, it is actually enough now. And having this patch going for only around 4 weeks is great. The sooner we can get to the more new contents, aka Zani, and sooner we get to the anniversary patch. I will most likely make a different video, a separate video to discuss more on the anniversary part. But all in all, I think what I'm mostly excited is the Aero Rover and the new weapon. So good for the our Rover, our main character to actually have his signature weapon. It's just great. It just feels good, you know? The Rover not being forgettable. To say the least, I'm satisfied with RMC. I've mentioned it, I mentioned this already, but RMC, our Spectral MC, which is the first element that we got, is a very, very good DPS. Can top with other 5-star characters as well. Can you imagine that? But yeah, that's all I want to say in this video. Looking forward to what you guys think about this patch. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See ya.